There's an article in the Sun today that annoyed Andy Jacobs, and if I'm being honest, I read it, and I was a bit annoyed as well. It's written by our next guest. Let me just read a bit out, and then I'll get him on the phone to defend himself, shall we? It says, after a fortnight gorging ourselves on the inspirational performances of Olympic heroes from near and far, we're all revelling in how uplifting and joyful sport can be, but it didn't take long for the multi-millionaire prima donnas from the Premier League to ruin all that. And then it ends off with how depressing. When does the Paralympics start? Well, he's on now to tell us in a bit more detail why he was upset about what happened at Villa Park yesterday. And Rob Beesley from The Sun joins us now. Rob, good afternoon. Welcome to talkSPORT.
Hi.
How are you, Rob? Are you good?
I'm not bad. I'm just lying on a tennis court waiting to play tennis. So I'm pretty good, yeah.
God, it's a hard life you journos have got.
Oh, very
I'm on holiday.
Oh, okay. It's an easy life and well deserved.
4.5 weeks away at the Euros, 2 weeks non-stop at the greatest show on earth. You know, even us journos deserve a bit of time off now and again.
Rob, are you not concerned, though, that, and it's become a very common thing in columns, in letters, that people are just taking athletics and taking the Olympics, which is a wonderful once every 4-year event, and using it as a stick to beat the worst of football? For example, in your own paper last week, there was a photo of Jessica Ennis next to a photo of John Terry. I mean, just as equally, you could put a photo of Justin Gatlin next to a photo of Lionel Messi. I don't see why you have to compare one great thing that takes place every 4 years with something that we all love. And if you remember, last season was the most wonderful season and finished on the last day. Couldn't be more exciting than that. Why have you got to denigrate football at the expense of the Olympics?
Because it was such a culture shock, having spent 2 weeks in the most amazing surroundings with the most amazing people, the games makers, as they've been called, where everything was great about Britain. The performances on the track, not just by great British athletes, but by the world stars. The way that people turned out in droves to come and enjoy the sport, join in the sport, and revel in the sport. How it reminded us how sport is joyful and uplifting, what it can do. And as I said, when I got to Villa Park yesterday, after spending 2 weeks going from the Olympic Park down to Greenwich, down to the Excel, going all over Eden Dorney, I never, ever saw a single person stand up in their seat, F and blind, at the top of their voices, in front of women and children. And within minutes of sitting down at Villa Park, there wasn't just one guy. There was a plethora of people standing up. Couldn't wait to F and blind at the nearest rival football player, the nearest rival football fan, the referee, and anybody. And it was just sickening.
But Rob, let me ask you. You've been to football before.
You asked me to answer the question, and I'm telling you. When you spend your life in football, you become immune to it. But why should we become immune to grown men standing up in front of women and children and effing and blinding like that? If I did it in Warwick High Street, I'd be arrested. And it just put it into perspective for me. And I was just thinking, well, you know what? Over the weekend, no less than FA Chairman David Bernstein, no less than the England manager Roy Hodgson, and no less than Clark Carlisle, who is the chairman of the Professional Footballers Association, the Players' Own Union, all went to press on Sunday saying, let's tap into this Olympic feeling. Let's football respond to it. Remember our responsibilities as the national sport. We are role models to millions of people. Let's remember it. And what do we have? We had two teams kicking lumps out of each other. We had the first straight run of the season within 40 minutes. And it was as if, yeah, that's all right for you Olympics. That's all right for the Olympian types. That's all right for you horsey people, you rowing people, you athletics people. Football's different. Football is above all that. We are football. We're bigger and better than a lot of you. The arrogance of football, the arrogance of the football fan that he can speak and act as he likes, wherever he likes, and sod the world. It was depressing and sickening. And the fact that you two seek to defend it says everything about you two.
No, it doesn't. That is a ludicrous thing to say, because I love the Olympics, but I will defend football because I don't think it's right to compare the worst of football with the best of athletics.
And F and blind in front of women and children.
Unfortunately, I occasionally do, and unfortunately, I occasionally hear other people.
Hold on, Rob. Rob, you'd be a hypocrite.
It's not a case of being proud of myself. I'm being honest.
Rob, you'd be a hypocrite if you said you'd never done that. You've done that, Rob.
You have.
Yeah, I've done it.
Well, so there you go. So
there you go.
exactly.
You've just admitted
No, but
you're having
you're
a pop at what we're
What
saying
you
we
did
do.
was cheap and easy. That's the problem, Rob. It was just cheap and easy. Anybody can do what you did. You compared a pre-season game.
That's what you do on talk radio every single day. You go for the, and that's why you're ringing me, because you want to have an argument online.
No,
you want to go live on there and have an argument about something. You want to tear up on radio because you think it's good for ratings.
It's not at all. Yeah, you're doing me a disservice now, because I feel quite passionate about this, because I love the Olympics, but I don't see why you can't enjoy one sport without denigrating another.
Rob, are you suggesting that you've never put? Rob, are you suggesting you've never put anything in your paper for reaction? Rob, have you ever printed a headline for a reaction?
I don't do headlines. I don't think I have actually. No.
A story then, without being pedantic. Have you ever printed a story for reaction?
No, I don't. I do stories. I don't do things for reaction.
Okay, has your newspaper then, Rob?
I don't know. Maybe.
I know, and it has, because every newspaper does. That's what the media does, Rob. That's what we do for a living.
Yes, that's not what I do.
That's the industry.
You do for a living. It's not what I do for a living.
Well, you work in that industry.
Don't associate yourself with me. And don't speak to me. I don't do that. I do stories, and I do match reports, and I...
So you've never reported on a story that's not true, Rob?
No, not knowingly, no.
Well,
you know what? I've been a journalist since 1977.
Yeah.
I've never been sued by anybody.
Well, that doesn't mean you haven't lied just because you haven't been sued.
No, that's the thing. That's a good thing.
Don't call me a liar.
No, hang on a minute.
Don't call me a liar.
Okay,
hang on a minute.
You want to call me a liar?
I'm not calling you a liar.
Don't call me a liar.
Hold on. I'm not calling you a liar.
You are out of control. You are out of order.
Okay, let's calm down,
I will see you about this.
I haven't called you a liar. Rob,
the conversation is over.
Right.
You and me will sort this out.
Okay.